Hey guys, Max here. In this video, I'm going to go over the exact template I've used to plan out my finances for the whole entire year. Over the last 5 years, I've used this and I've saved about $100,000 in the bank right now. And it's given me a sense of control over my finances, which I know is really, really difficult for many people. Whenever life hits, it seems like everything goes out of control, especially money. You go debt, 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 and more debt. I'm going to go over the budget template that I've used to get me feeling in control and ready to go and getting into a very, very good financial position. So without further ado, let's go. The question is your house an asset or a liability? What do you think? Literally 20% of all the dollars ever printed were printed since 2019. Experience. Reading books is great, but learning from your experience is how you do it. Okay, first and foremost, open up your web browser. Go to maxmymoney.org/budget. The link will also be in the description of this video. So go there. You will be met with this landing page. Type in your first name, type in your email, and then you will be pushed and you will get access to this page. This page is the budget workbook. It's a yearly financial worksheet. So I'm actually going to go use real numbers on this. And you know whose numbers I'm going to use? I'm going to use that's me, a long time ago, with a lot shorter hair, as you can see. This is me, my very, very first job out of college. I was very excited, and let's just say I didn't make a ton of money, but I made enough money to make ends meet. So let's go over that. This is going to be my actual budget I used at age 21 or 22, right outside of college. So let's go through this. Really simple. You'll have access to this. It's Google Sheets. You'll be able to do this. First, you're going to go pull it up, obviously. Go to File, make a copy. You can copy it. I'll put Max's first budget. And then at that point, it will automatically create a copy for you. And now you are able to edit this. This one, the one that you see, it's view only. You cannot edit it. So make sure to make a copy. Now you can edit this. I'm not going to go through all this. This is what I go when I coach people for budget and debt and the whole bit. I go through all this in very, very much detail. This is not anything you have to go through at this second. It just goes through if you were going to fill this out on your own. I'm going to explain it in this video, so we don't need to do that. All right, so you go to the tab right here, budget worksheet. Click on that worksheet. Yearly financial worksheet. We're going to go through every single one by one. You're going to type in your numbers. I'll use my numbers, and we will go from there. All right, so client's gross income. That's going to be my gross income. So very simply put, if you pull out the calculator, I made $40,000 a year my first job. 40,000 divided by 12 months is 3333. Easy enough. So about $3,300 a month. Spouse, no spouse. Net income, it's going to be different for everybody, but this is actually, the difference between gross income and net income. Gross income is you take how much money you make before taxes. So like if you make $40,000 a year before taxes, that's good. Net income, we're going to take what I pay at this point in my life, which was about 25% tax. So what I'm going to do is $40,000, my yearly pay, multiply that by times 0.75. That means you're taking 25% off for taxes. Again, you need to figure out your exact number. $30,000. So in reality, I was actually only making about $30,000 a year. We divide that by 12. So $2,500 a month net income, which means that's money that actually went to my bank. All right. So we take 2,500, put that in there. I don't have any other income. Actually, you know what? At this point I did. At this point I think I was renting out one room for $575 a month. Any of this, if you have investment income, interest income, other, totally good. All right, so super easy. Net income plus, and if I was renting out one room at this point. So my take home every month was just over $3,000. So figure out what that is for you. All right. So then we're going to go to, do you usually receive a tax refund or owe money? I usually received a refund, and it usually was about $1,000. So did you receive a bonus? I had no bonus for overtime, so I'm going to put 0 there. All right, so here is if you have a traditional job, have a 401k or some type of pension, and they're taking out that monthly. I was putting in $200 a month. I did not have a flex spending account. So if you have a medical or childcare FSA account, you're going to put that there. Stock options, if you are being paid in stock by the company, and any other benefits that are being deducted. So I was only putting $200 towards the 401k every single month. So that's good there. Auto transportation. Yes, I did have an auto loan. It was $10,000, and it was just over 2%, 2.19%. And my monthly payment was just, I don't know the exact number, but I'm gonna estimate at $275 a month. Gas and fuel, I did commute to work. That was about $100 a month for fuel. Service and repairs, that was not an everyday thing. We're going to go over a more irregular expense in the future on the next one of the tabs going forward. Auto insurance was about $80 a month. Auto registration, again, we're going to go through that in the more irregular expenses, so I'm going to put 0 for that. Parking and tolls, I didn't work downtown, I worked in the suburbs, so none of that. Okay, so for auto transport, I had my auto loan, I had how much fuel I spent every single month, I had insurance, which I paid, so $455 monthly. All right, on to the next, and these are probably things you can pause this video, and what I would do is compile all this information. I just remembered this because I've only had one car loan in my life. I remembered the interest rate, and $10,000, not $100,000. That's a big number. So you're going to compile this. So what I would do is, this is what I did. So go to your bills and utilities. Figure out how much your cell phone is. Pretty simple. My cell phone was $40 a month. Electricity. So this is where you can start doing some math. So let's just say what I did is I went through every single bill 12 months previous. So my previous 12 months, it was about $2,000. So $2,000 for the year means you're going to take $2,000. So you put equals 2,000 divided by 12 months. That comes out to $166. No, I do not want that to autofill. So my utility bill my electricity specifically was about $166. Again, the $2,000 for the whole entire year. So get your statements, look at your withdrawals, do the math for the 12 months. 2,000 divided by 12 months is $166 per month. Natural gas. Mine was approximately, again, same thing, go back the last 12 months and figure out all those together, add them together. Mine was about $750 for the whole entire year. So $750, which is the whole entire year, divided by 12 months, that comes out to $62.50 a month. Internet, same thing here. It was about $110 per month. I had really fast internet. Cable, 0. If you have cable, do that in. Water, sewer, and garbage was about $75 a month. I don't have any other. There you go. So bills and utilities, we came out to about $450 a month. All right, so I didn't have any of this. I actually did have a, what shall we call it? A editing software. That was $30 a month. So we're going to add that there. Education, if you have student loans, you're going to type that there. I did not personally. I paid it. I put myself through college myself, so good there. But if you have student loans, you're going to put, let's just say 6% interest rate, and you have $24,000, and you're paying $350 a month. Pretty simple there. So if you have something like that, make sure to add the interest rate, your balance, and your monthly payment. Since I have that, we're going to leave that blank. But if you do, make sure to fill that out. And if you're still in college or spending or simply putting money towards someone else's college, you're going to add all this good stuff in. Entertainment, I would say I probably spent, let's just say $50 a month on entertainment and such. Fees and charges, I thankfully pretty much figured out that the bank that's not going to charge me any fees, I stayed with them. If you have a bank that charges you any type of bank fees, get out of that bank. There are way too many checking options nowadays that charge 0 fees. So if you can avoid fees at all costs, get out of it. All right. Life insurance. Yes. My premium was about $300 a year. So again, we're going to do the monthly here. So $300 a year divided by 12 months is $25 a month. Disability, long-term care insurance, if that does, again, these are not payroll deducted. So if you have any disability insurance or any long-term care or any supplemental insurance that comes out of your paycheck through your employer, you do not add that here. That's for another place. Food and dining, let's use simple numbers. About $150 a month. Eating out, I probably did that about $50 a month. Work lunches, that is considered eating out. I'll put that together. School lunches, tobacco and liquor, 0, 0, 0. So you're going to simply go through again, same thing here. You take the yearly figure. What I do is I go back the last 12 months. If you don't have 12 months, that's okay. Just estimate them. All these things you just have to estimate, and we're going to get things closer, getting as close as possible. But throughout time, you'll be able to see more accurate numbers. Gifts and donations. So I probably spend, let's say, $500 on my family for holidays. So again, $500, divide that by 12. So that is, actually scratch that. That's going to be a irregular expense. I'm going to get that to a certain portion. So that's actually not going to be anything here. But if you donate to your church or organization, I think I was taking care of adopting one kid in Africa, and that was about $20 a month for his schooling. And let's see, we're on to health and fitness. Gym membership, my gym membership was about $100 a month. I was going to a nice gym at that point. That has obviously changed in my life, that's for sure. Doctors, if you have something you have to pay out of pocket that's not through the insurance, you'll pay that there. For me, pretty much 0. Copays, prescriptions, same things. Everything's going to be certain for you. I would say vitamins and supplements, I spend about probably $25 a month. All right, so this is the one that you probably do need a little bit of research on. So your mortgage and rent. All right, so my mortgage at that point was 4.5%, and the payment was about $1,000 a month. If you have any equity loan, lines of credit, second property mortgage, property taxes, I did pay property taxes separately, and that was, again, I only paid it twice a year, so we're actually not going to add that there. Homeowners insurance, that was about $50 a month. Home repair and maintenance, lawn care, pool care. If you have any of those, you need to add those in. For the kids, child support, if you pay child support, if you play any child care whatsoever, activities, allowance, sports, no kiddos for me, so that's going to be 0. Any miscellaneous, so like mine would be car wash membership. That was $20 a month. Let's say Spotify. That is $10 a month. Personal care, hair, nails, laundry. Let's just say detergent and such is going to be $15 a month. That's a pretty conservative figure. Pets, no pets for me, but if you have medical insurance for your pets, food, that's going to be something you put there. Clothing, electronics, I would say I probably spend at that point, about $40 a month on books. Clothing, so sporadically, but let's just say $50 a month is a pretty good figure there. Taxes, if you have other taxes, if you're delinquent on taxes and you're repaying the IRS for something, or you just have other taxes that you pay in general, you're going to want to make sure to add all those in here. Travel, if you travel at all, you're going to put that here monthly. No traveling for me. Here's the important part. The savings and goals, your asset accumulation. So if you have an emergency savings account, you're going to put the balance there. And what you're going to do is, I'll go through this in another video at some point. I'll go through this, but you need to figure out how to find an online bank that does automatic monthly withdrawals. So like for me, I put $100. I was putting $100 a month into my emergency savings, and my emergency savings when I first started the show was almost nothing. It was probably $250. So I was putting that $100 a month into my emergency savings just because things happen in life. You don't have always control over everything. Retirement savings, if you have any other, an IRA, a Roth, a money market, any other type of retirement account that you're putting money towards, I did not, so we're going to put 0 there. Spouses, nope. College savings, nope. Irregular savings, we're going to get to that in just a second. vacation savings, holiday savings. So if you're putting any money towards holidays, like I said, I probably spend $50 a month on holiday savings in general. That looks good to go there. So you're going to put that. However much money, so here's the thing. However much money you have automatically going to that account, you're going to put right here. This is going to be the balance. So let's just say it's 0 for now since I'm starting the new job. And the other is any life insurance cash value. All right, so here is where the nitty-gritty cards. You're going to get every single one of your credit cards. Figure out which one it is. Let's just say it's the Visa number 1. Let's say I owe $3,000. Interest rate is 10%, and my minimum required is $150 a month. You're going to do this for every single credit card. So Visa number 1, Visa number 2, all of them. Figure out your total balance. This is the big thing. This really does suck, I'll be honest with you. This is not fun, going through every single debt you have. But the only way you can get into a good financial spot is by being aware. Awareness is first and foremost. If you can't look at all your debts and say, oh, I have a lot of work to do, yet you can become really organized and start chipping away at these debts. For me, I have no credit card debt. I've done, my parents taught me from a very young age to, if you don't have cash, don't buy it, which is a whole other conversation to have. Sometimes debt is a good thing, but we won't get there. Credit card debt is pretty much always bad. With that being said, though, you can start chipping away. So go through every single one of your credit cards, go through the balance, find out the interest rate, which a lot of times you have to dig pretty deep on the statement. You have to figure that out. Then how much monthly payments you're making. And let's say if you only have to make $150, but you're actually making a $200 a month payment. That's good. That means you're actually making progress. That's very, very good. All right. So what's really nice about this is it takes your total monthly income from the very, very top part. Remember the top part where we put our net income? We take all the expenses, all those things we just went through. Every single one. It adds up all of these. And it takes in our monthly overage and shortage. Boy, at that point, I didn't have very much extra money. Isn't that crazy? I had less than $200 every single month. Now, whether that number shows positive, whether it's 0, whether it's negative, it can always be improved. My encouragement would be, if you see this number and you don't like it, whether it be 0 or even sometimes it's negative, go through each of these we just went through and see if there's any progress you can make. Like, for instance, my electricity. Do I need to run the AC as much as I do? If the answer is no, then maybe not. My cell phone, it was already pretty expensive, but if you have a high cell phone plan, do I really need that much data, or do I need to be that fast? Auto insurance. When was the last time you priced out your auto insurance? It's amazing. Every single time my auto insurance goes up for renewal, I price it out. And the last couple of years, I've changed it every single time because a new company offers a better rate. That's that. Retirement savings. Should you put more? Should you put less? All these things you want to look at. Can I get by with less than $50 going out to the movies? Can I get by with less than $150 on groceries? This is when you want to start becoming very, very frugal. Eating out. Imagine if I just eliminated half that. That'd be another $25 I'd be able to put towards my emergency fund, the trip to the Bahamas I want to go on, things of that nature. My gym membership. This is where when I look back years ago, I think, why was I spending a huge majority of my monthly income on a gym membership? Crazy. I spend about $20 now, and I make a lot more money than I did back then. So it's all priorities. Can you get by with a $100 a month gym membership? Can you get by with a 0 month membership and you're doing it at home? Maybe $20 a month? Go through all these, every single one of these, and see if there is some way to make it to lower your expenses. Because this number right here, I look back and I think, I just can't believe myself. I cannot believe I was living my life I was living my life as a rich and famous when I didn't have the money. I was buying clothes. I was doing this. I was doing that. I was going to a fancy gym, all these things. Anyway, I'm getting off my soapbox now. So see if you can go back and see if there's any areas where you can make progress on there. All right, so here are the guidelines. You go to this tab right here, guidelines. These are, again, very, very base guidelines. You do not have to be perfectly within these parameters, but let's go through a couple of them. Auto transport. It should be about 10 to 20% of all the money you make. My first budget, I was doing about 15%, so about right. Bills and utilities, about 5 to 10%. Well, mine's 454, which tells me one thing. It means I bought too much house. Most people fall into the trap of getting a house as going to the mortgage broker, they're approved for $300,000. But in reality, they should really only be buying a $200,000 house based on how the finances actually make sense. So right here, it tells me I was spending 15% just on bills and utilities. By golly, that is a lot. You go through some of these. Let's see what other ones. Couple of the ones look like they're writing entertainment. Yeah, this is a very, very broad. I would put that way lower. I would, especially if you're paying off debt, that number should be about what I have, about 2% or lower. You can have entertainment and have fun when you are debt free when it comes to credit cards. Let's see, financial, food and dining, 10 to 20%. Again, these guidelines right here in column F, take them with a grain of salt. They're not going to be perfect for every single person. Yeah, let's go here. Here's the home, 35%. I'm at the very, very tip top of how much money I was making. Way too much. If you can have your housing expense 20% or lower than your income, you can really start chipping away at debts and really start investing in the long term. Yeah, so 94% of all the money I made was going towards my living expenses and everything that's happening in my life. That sucks. That absolutely sucks. Now it's more so, I would say, about 50% because I've obviously made more money and made adjustments to my budget. But you want to make sure that these numbers, there's a pretty big discrepancy. I like to see this number for most people between 65 and 75%. That means you have about 25 to 35% of your money you can put towards debt. You can put towards long-term savings. You can put towards other things that are way more important than having a fancy gym membership. All right, next, let's go into the irregular expense tracker, this tab right here. This tab gets you ready to go throughout the whole entire year. You know, most people, I'm going to go back to me for a second. Most people think that, well, I have all my monthly expenses taken care of. I'm good to go, right? Wrong. You're missing a huge portion, like your auto insurance, for instance. Some people pay monthly. Some people pay every 6 months. Your property taxes, monthly, yearly, twice a year. All these things that happen every so often, like Christmas time, Christmas gifts, that happens once a year. So if you don't have the money set aside, you're not going to be ready. That's why the irregular expense tracker gets you ready for that. So I put a couple of here that already people, you should be on your radar. But let's just go through it. Valentine's Day. You and your honey go out. Let's say it's $100. Let's go to tax filing. Let's say you spend $200 for someone to do your taxes for you. Mother's Day. My mother's birthday is also here, so Mother's B-Day. Buy her some nice flowers. Father's Day. Father's B-Day. 50. So you're just going to go through month by month. In January, do you have any things happening in January? Car insurance, property taxes, kids' birthdays, things of that nature. Valentine's Day, tax filing. The 4th of July. Yeah, I like to party on 4th of July. I'm having a good time. Back to school. See, that's one I would not be good for me because I have nobody going back to school, and school has been done with me for a long, long time. So we're going to eliminate that. Thanksgiving. Food, time with family, holiday season. All right, so you go through these. You go into your calendar. Type in everyone's birthday that you're going to buy them a gift for. Type in every single event, every single thing. Your church has a certain event. Your friend group, your family. You have a family reunion. All these things that only happen every once in a while. You're going to want to type in. So here we go. So making property tax. Anticipated maintenance repair on your home or automobile. So what I like to do is home repair. I don't know when the home's gonna need some repair, but I like to put about $100 a month into that. So let's do that. Holiday gift buying, auto insurance, miscellaneous periodic expenses. Similarly, let's do auto repair. I put a little bit less on there. I have an old car. So anyway, you just go month by month, figure out all these amounts. Again, these are one-time expenses that happen on occasion. Your mom's birthday is only once a year. It's not every single month. So, super simple. It does all the math for you. All my irregular expenses for that year were $3,100. So that means every single month I need to be putting $258.33 into a specific irregular expense savings account. This is our monthly expenses, things that happen and we pay it on the month to month. This is things that only happen every once in a while. An irregular expense, things that happen once a year, things that happen twice a year. $258.33. Now I need to figure out in this budget, see what's really funny, my first budget, if I go back to the guidelines, I only had $181 to go. So I didn't even have the correct amount of money to do that. Well, that means I would have needed to go through this budget worksheet and figure out, do I really need a $100 gym membership? Think about it. If I eliminated that gym membership, let's go back to the guidelines, that's $100. So that would be $281. So if I eliminate one thing in that budget, I would have enough to be prepared. Because the last thing you want to do is go through the whole entire year and not be ready for when those things hit. When your car needs repair, when your house needs repair, when you need to call the plumber, all these things that happen to us, you got to be prepared for it. And that's where the irregular expense categories really help you and think about, oh yeah, my mom's birthday is in May. I am going to buy her a gift. It sucks to have to go buy someone a gift on a credit card or just not have the money. It's embarrassing on both ends that you can't buy your mother a gift, and also you're going to credit card debt buying a gift. It's a lose-lose situation, and I tend to only have win-win situations when it comes to finances. All right, so that's the irregular expense tracker. Now you know. This is great. You know you need $258.33 going every single month. And here's the thing. What's really awesome about this is you can edit it whenever you have something that you know is going to come up. But again, grab your calendar, grab your phone calendar, go through every single month one by one and figure out if there's going to be an expense. Estimate how much you're going to spend and always be a little more conservative. So if you think you're going to spend $75 on Valentine's Day, put $100. It's much better to have this account fully funded than have it be delinquent. Because what happens when you need to have your car repaired and you don't have the money? The credit card debt cycle starts again. You don't want to go for that. All right, so there we've gone through the budget worksheet. Go through this. Go through every single one. Figure out how much each monthly thing costs. You will get your figure right here. $28.94.17 is all my bills. Guidelines, you can go through this. See if you're in step or out of step. You can write down a goal. Like for my house. My house, I really want to do about 20%. So that's probably about $990. No, less, $800. Right. So you see how out of whack that is? I'm spending $1050 on the house, and I really should be spending about $800. That's a $250 discrepancy there. How do you figure that out? That's the question you have to start asking yourself. So you go through that, you go through the budget worksheet, you go through the guidelines, see if you want to change anything, see if there's a more appropriate figure you want to put in. Irregular expenses, go through each and every single month, figure out what needs to be written down, what needs to be prepared for. You want to be, here's a big thing people deal with. Most people are completely 100% reactive when it comes to finances. This comes up, that comes up. Oh my gosh, everything starts just hitting you like a complete wind of a storm. It starts raining a little bit, and then it starts pouring. That's how life goes. Life is never just one thing happens, then a few months go by, another thing happens. When it rains, it pours. You want to be prepared for things like that. You do not want to be reactive. You want to be more so proactive. That's the big difference here. When was the last time you thought about Valentine's Day and it's November? That's really only 2. That's really only 3 months away. Are you ready for that? Or holiday season, Christmas gifts. Are you thinking about that in May when it's Mother's Day? Well, it's only 7 months away. And do you have enough money put aside for that? This one thing right here has helped people, help my coaching clients so much. Because once you go from reactive to proactive, you don't have that impending doom and that impending stress of money the money problems are always there. You can start chipping away at your money problems and start being financially savvy and really prepared for what is to happen. All right, so we've gone through that, and now this is the nitty-gritty. This is the not-so-fun part, I'll be honest with you. All right, so this is if you look right here, month 1 expense tracker. Let's say it is January. All right, so January. So as you have expenses, you're going to type them in. So 1/1. Let's just say I pay my mortgage on that day. It's going to be under home. It's going to be under mortgage company. Let's say home mortgage, $1,000. So you can begin to see. So let's go back. So it takes in your income from the previous page, and we take in $1,000. So now we've gone down $1,000. So you can go and let's say on that same day we bought some groceries. Use these categories. If you try to do something that's not there, it will not let you go forward. So food, grocery store, groceries, and let's say you spent $80 on groceries that day. 80, there we go. It's going to keep on going down, going down, going down. So you're going to take each expense as they come up. I do this in about 1 hour every single day. Not every single day, every month. Once a month, I go through all my transactions. I use Mint. Some people use pen and paper. Some people use You Need a Budget. Some people use Every Dollar. There are so many different online ways. I personally use Mint, which is by Intuit, the people who bring TurboTax. I use Mint, and what I pretty much do is look at my Mint, put them side by side. Hey, there's me again. Put them side by side, and go through each and every expense. Takes me about an hour, and at the end of it, you can really see where you stack up financially. At the end of the month, after all your expenses are put in, which I'm going to pause for just a second and put in some other expenses. All right, so here's all the expenses, my little mock expenses. It's not a perfect science by any means, but you're going to go each one. You know, the groceries, the restaurants, the movies, gym, gas, car insurance, miscellaneous, all this good stuff you're going to make in. At the end of the month, you should have this. You should have a zero. We'll make that nice and bright for you. You should be zeroed out, meaning at the end of the month, you figure out, let's just use this. So you figure out that, oh, okay, after all my income, after all my expenses, I have $140 left over. Well, that 140, as I talked about previously, is I was building into my emergency fund. So what I always do is I use the category asset accumulation, savings account, and I put emergency fund transfer and type in the exact amount at the very, very end. That puts me into a zeroed out balance, and now I am kosher and ready to go for the next month. What's really nice about this, using this technology here, is when you have a when you have a completed month, which congratulations, you've finished your first 30 days. You click on the little arrow right here, you go to your first month. So let's type in January. You click on the arrow, you click on duplicate, and then now you have a copy, so you can put February. And right here, you can put February. And a lot of these are going to stay the same, like the gym. I'm probably not going to buy gas the exact same day, so I'll eliminate that one. But the gym membership, it's the same month, same amount, same month every single time. All the ones that are recurring, you can keep there, and it makes it super simple. So you really only have to do the really tough work the first time. Then you can copy and duplicate things going forward. So that's how it is. That's what it is. Again, step one, you go through the yearly financial worksheet. Go through your gross income, all the expenses. Go through the guidelines. Are things looking right? Again, these are guidelines. They're not fast and true for every single person. But are you looking pretty good compared to the guidelines? If not, you can always write your goal here and figure out what your actual percentage should be. And I like making notes here as well. You know, need to use air conditioning less. So I'm going to put my air conditioning up a few degrees during the summer so I can save a little money there. Your irregular expenses. This is your birthdays, anniversaries, all the events that happen every once in a while. Christmas, holiday season, Thanksgiving, all these things that happen every once in a while. You're going to type up each of them in, the amount of money you plan on spending. Again, be conservative here. If you think you're going to spend, let's say, $500 on the holiday season, I put $600. It'll tell you how much money you need to save every year to be ready for those irregular expenses. You want to go from reactive, which is probably what you are right now, to proactive. People who are proactive have zero stress about money. Okay, let me rephrase that. People who are proactive about money have very little stress about money. They focus on things they can control. Because the reality is, guess what? You want to know who controls almost all this? You. You have the power to make your finances peaceful and orderly, or you can make them reactive, chaotic, and stressful. The total power is in your hands. The irregular expenses help you get proactive. And then you're going to use the expense tracker to go through every single one. Well, that's that. So make sure, maxmymoney.org/budget, go to it, get the budget tracker, go through every single bit on this. I promise you, you will begin to enjoy doing the numbers, not because they're really fun, but because the result you're going to get is feeling stress-free, feeling in control, and knowing that your finances are in your hands, nobody else's. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure to comment, subscribe below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.